as good of a player as Bonds is, he was even that much more of a jerk. And that was back in his days with the Pirates, too. He was such a jerk that Jim Leland one time just screamed at him and just told him off one time because
he probably threw a cigarette at him. Like Jimmy Leland, man, smoking a cigarette in a dugout. I remember those days.
Yeah.
I don't. You guys are teaching me something here.
We're old folks.
Before the days of vaping, there was Jim Leland in the.
Oh yeah, ripping butts in the dugout, man.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the PodHub Network. In this episode, I talked to Johnnie Black and Dan Corrigan from the Scorecrow about the Baseball Hall of Fame votes. The Donut Bag starts right now.
Okay, now for a little baseball talk. Tomorrow, the Baseball Hall of Fame votes will be revealed. Here with me to discuss it is, from the Scorecrow, Johnnie Black and Dan Corrigan. Guys, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Good, Joey. How you doing? Long time no see.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
We're just. I know you're a diehard Saints fan. I was just expressing my condolences.
Yeah, I'm starting my therapy on tomorrow. So after that game yesterday, so
yeah.
Yep.
Go grab a bat and ball and play some baseball or something.
Exactly. Well, as soon as it gets a little warmer out, like we were saying, it's 3 degrees here in Boston. So.
Right. Yeah. It's
a little cold for baseball.
Yeah, much warmer.
We're in a cold freeze right now, so not a whole lot of baseball going on. But yeah, so it looks like maybe they might elect 4. It looks like Mariano Rivera might be. Would he be the first 100% person?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's never been anyone unanimous. Griffey missed it. What did Griffey go in last year? He missed it by 3 votes.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Somebody I predict somebody, just to be a jerk, is not going to vote or not going to vote for Rivera.
I agree.
That sounds about right.
Just to be a jerk, and that's just how stupid these things are. Like how do you not elect Ken Griffey as a junior as a thing?
Who would have thought he's not a Hall of Famer? Right,
because it's like, well, Babe Ruth wasn't, or Mickey Mantle was, or they'll make some stupid argument for. So yeah, Mariano Rivera is a lock.
Oh yeah.
Roy Halladay, they're saying, might get in, and that's his. It's his first time. Is a ballot. Is that? Were his numbers that good?
I mean, he had that one, like, his 2010 season was like one of the greatest seasons ever. I mean, he had a perfect game. He won a second Cy Young, his first in the NL, and because obviously he won one with Toronto, and then he had that no-hitter against the Reds in the playoffs. So, I mean, he had that, like, 10-year stretch from when he won the Cy Young in Toronto all the way to 2010, where it was just, he was, like, untouchable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, the criteria, without just looking at stats, for me, the criteria is one of the best at their position, and they've done it for a long time. And that definitely applies to Halladay. I
believe Halladay's probably, some of these might be a little bit of sympathy votes,
right?
Because obviously he passed away like a year ago, or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was in the summer, I think, last year. It was during the season, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So he might be getting a couple sympathy votes from there, but he will probably get in.
7 times he either won the Cy Young or was like in the top 5 of Cy Young voting. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. I started playing fantasy baseball in the mid-90s, and if you had, there was I think I won a league just because I had Halladay the one year. So yeah, I could say he was pretty dominant. So yeah, I mean, he only had 203 wins, which I guess is okay. Is 200 wins considered like the threshold to get in? I thought it was like 300, but I guess nobody's going to get that anymore.
No,
I think nowadays,
probably like 250.
Yeah, not only that too, you got to think about all the relief pitching that's gone on. I mean, obviously with Mariano. So I mean, you look at all the saves, and guys aren't pitching as long. I think the last 300 game winner we saw was probably Randy Johnson. I don't know how many more 300 game winners you're going to see.
I don't think there will for a long time, probably.
Yeah, no one pitches that much anymore.
No.
I mean, you look at CC Sabathia, 38 years old, and he's had a really good career, borderline Hall of Fame career.
Yep.
He's said and done. But he needs 4 more wins, and he'll just hit 250.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's never going to get to 300, obviously, because it's probably his last year.
Shot.
But some of the other guys, I don't think you're going to see 300.
Max Scherzer has 159 wins.
Right.
He's 34 years old.
Yeah.
Right, and look at him, and he's one of the horses nowadays. He's a guy that can actually pitch 7-8 innings.
Guy.
Yeah, so I don't think you're going to see. I think 200 is going to be the new threshold, honestly.
Yeah. Wow. Is when Sabathia is done, do you think he's a Hall of Famer? I mean, you got it. That's a tough one.
That is. It's going to take a while for him to get in.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go in first ballot, but I do think he'll get there because of the 250 wins. I'm assuming he'll get 4 this year. And also, too, he only needs, I believe it's only 16 more strikeouts for 3,000. So he's going to hit milestones that are traditionally – I mean, traditionally these milestones are big. 250 wins, 3,000 strikeouts. Yeah. You got to remember he's got a mid-3 ERA. He pitched in the AL for most of his career, with the exception of the brief time he pitched with the Milwaukee Brewers. But so he pitched in the AL. He won a Cy Young. I mean, so he's got the accolades. He's got the World Series ring. He's got the counting stats as far as the milestones go. I think he'll get in. I think he might miss the first couple ballots, but I think he'll get in eventually.
He's 14 strikeouts from 3,000.
Yeah.
He's right there.
He finished top 5 in Cy Young voting in 5 times, and he finished in MVP voting 5 times also. So, yeah, he's had 5 really good years. Yeah, I could see him eventually getting on, maybe not first ballot, but
no, probably not.
Very interesting. So it's Rivera, Halladay, Edgar Martinez.
Finally.
Is this just because he was just a DH that why he didn't get in yet?
I think so. I think a lot of it has to do. A lot of the voters look at DHs as, obviously one-dimensional because you're not playing the field at all.
Yeah.
So you're kind of a one-dimensional team player. But on the same token, that's why I'm actually surprised that Mariano might get the 100%, is because a lot of people look at closers as kind of the same way they look at DHs in a sense.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you got this guy who pitches 1 inning. He pitches 60, 70 innings a year. What is that? He's facing, the guy's faced with 250 batters a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, how is that affecting, how much are you actually affecting your team's outcome if you're only facing this many guys or whatever? And the same thing, they look at the DHs. They're like, well, you're only getting up to bat 4 times a game. You're not playing the field. You're not, so I think they're kind of on the same level as far as outlook goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad Edgar's getting in. He's trending at like 91%. So, and this is the last year on the ballot for him. This is his 10th and final year. So
wow. So
I'm glad to see him get in.
Everybody just decided, okay, put up or shut up. It's either this or not.
And then it looks like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he missed by like 5% or something like that. Like he just missed last year. So there's he's pretty much a slam dunk to get in this year.
Yeah, it was close last year. Yeah. Did he 75%? I think he missed. I think it was 71%, 72%. It was really close.
Then the fourth one that they're saying is Mike Messina, and he had some pretty good numbers. 270 wins, 2,800 strikeouts. Wow. I'm looking at his numbers. Man, he finished top. He finished in the Cy Young voting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, 9 times. Finished in the Cy Young voting. Yeah, he's another one that I would consider a shoo-in for Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he pitched in the era of Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, and Roger Clemens, which is, that's not something easy to work with. But yeah, his numbers speak for themselves. I think he was a 5-time All-Star, 7-time Gold Glove, 270 wins, like you said, 2,800 strikeouts. I think he has a WAR of like 82.7.
Yeah,
which is like 10 points above the average. I think it was. I was reading. So yeah, he's probably gonna be a shoo-in.
And he won Gold Glove a whole bunch of times too.
Yeah, 7 times.
Yeah, and he pitched in the American League East in the steroid era his whole career. So I mean, you look at his ERA. I think his ERA was 3.68. Yeah, his career. Yeah. So even at that, people might look. That's what I think kept him out so far. Is people are looking at. You got to remember that a lot of these voters are still kind of old school.
Yeah.
They haven't really taken to the newer metrics as far as WAR and strikeout to walk ratio, rather than looking at ERA, wins, and strikeouts. So you still got the old school people.
Yeah.
And that's what I think has kept Messina kind of out. They look at that ERA, they're like 3.68. Geez, that's not that great. But when you consider the time frame he played in, the division he played in, the ballparks he pitched in, yeah, it's pretty good. 3.68 is really good. So yeah.
And then we get to the people on the bubble. And before I talk about Clemens and Bonds, I want to talk about Curt Schilling.
He should be in.
You think he should be in? I mean, his WAR was almost 80 for his career. 216 wins, 3.46 ERA, over 3,000 strikeouts. Yeah, I think it's another one that got overshadowed by at least Randy Johnson. I know that because they were teammates.
Yep.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm just thinking in my head, like, considered near the best of his position and done it for a long time, and he satisfies those.
Absolutely.
What Cy Young? Finished second in Cy Young 3 times, and one time finished at 4th. Yeah, I could. I mean, he was dominant with the Phillies. He had that great 1-2 punch with Randy Johnson in Arizona, and then the whole bloody sock thing in Boston.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing with him too. Is that, I mean, you look at like I talked about strikeout to walk ratio. He is 5th all time in career strikeout to walk ratio with among pitchers with over 1,000 innings pitched. He had a better career strikeout to walk ratio than Kershaw, Scherzer, Pedro Martinez, and he even had a better strikeout to walk ratio than Mariano, who was a closer.
Yeah.
Schilling's the only pitcher ever in the history of baseball to have 6 years with 5-to-1 ratio or better. No pitcher's ever done that. And 2 of the years that he finished second in the Cy Young were to his teammate Randy Johnson. So I got to definitely put Schilling in. I mean, I was surprised he's still not there yet. I mean, if you put Messina in, honestly, after
Schilling has to be in.
Does it have something to do with maybe not just baseball? And I know he's a bit of a political person. I don't know if that might have something to do with it, although it shouldn't.
No.
What difference does it make? Your political views have to do with, how good you are as a baseball player, but I don't know. It sounds like maybe next year's class, Schilling will be in. I mean, there's not a limit to how many people you could vote in, right?